Hello and welcome to the United Stand. A little bit unprepared because I have just got up, but getting up to the news that Bastian Schweinsteiger is to leave Manchester United is ultimately very disappointing. We are on the United Stand, I appreciate that, but this will be my Mark Goldbridge reaction to it because I appreciate that it will still divide opinion. For those who've been watching the United Stand long enough, you'll remember we did a video at about 11:30 in early July. A couple of years ago, 11:30 at night. Absolutely ecstatic I was with Alex that we'd signed Schweinsteiger, one of my favourite players of the last 15 years, a fantastic midfielder. First season, a bit disappointing, got to admit that, but there's two things I'm going to be totally honest about here. One, Jose Mourinho can play the press however he wants, and I think that's fantastic. Sir Alex Ferguson was great at it, but I don't like being mugged off as a United fan, and this fatigue thing can basically go and take a run and jump now, because if you're happy to tell, and then the news is that Bastian Schweinsteiger will join Chicago Fire in the MLS in the next week. So if that's going to happen, why we can't argue about fatigue, we can't argue about stretching the first team players, because Schweinsteiger is and has been on the bench and is fit and is ready and is experienced, and you would surely keep him till May if you have problems about fatigue. So that's the first one. Football Red Devil says it's so sad to see Bastian leave. The second one is this is just total stubbornness by the manager, and ultimately if he doesn't want him, he doesn't want him and he goes. That's fine. I wish Schweinsteiger all the best. I'm personally very, very sad because I want him to stay. I like him. And what I've seen of Schweinsteiger, even this season, is that he's up there with the midfielders we've got. I mean, what people forget is they try and do you this myth. They try and do this myth that Schweinsteiger's finished, he's not the player he used to be anymore, he's injury prone, etc. All of which are myths this season. Schweinsteiger performed badly last year, the same as Mata did, the same as Herrera did, the same as Carrick did. It doesn't make them bad players, they were managed by bad managers. But he's played a couple of times this season. He came on for 10 minutes in a Europa League game before Christmas, and he got an assist, and then he played a full game, didn't he, in the FA Cup game against, I think it was Wigan at home. Fantastic cross, man of the match performance, and we haven't seen him since. So we all wax lyrical about Fellaini playing well against the Championship side at the weekend in Middlesbrough, but Schweinsteiger was better than that against the Championship side in Wigan a few weeks ago in the FA Cup at Old Trafford. So I think he's good enough. I think he should be playing for Manchester United. I don't think there's any reason for us to be going, it's good for him to go, he's not good enough anymore. He's definitely good enough. He's definitely still good enough. The problem is Mourinho doesn't want him. I mean, treated him badly straight away, putting him to play with the kids. Who advised him on that? A lot of people thought it was Rooney who said, last season all he wanted to do was go around the world playing tennis. But Rooney and Schweinsteiger get on really well. So who's fed him that lie? Who's fed him that nonsense that he put him to play with the kids? Massive professionalism from Schweinsteiger to get himself back in the team. The video looks a bit blurred. It says day 1 Jan. I'm sorry about that. I'll go down a little bit. I'll come sit on the stairs a little bit closer to the router. So I'm just very disappointed by it. A bit of light behind me there. Very disappointed by it, and he worked his way back into the team really professionally, fantastically well to get himself back in the team, training with the team. Then he gets himself back into the squad. Then he starts playing games. Then we come to the most important time of the season, and we're like, like even at the weekend, we had to play Fellaini and Carrick, and we had no centre midfield. Where was Schweinsteiger? And it's totally Mourinho's decision. I've got to back it. I back Mourinho. He's the right manager for Manchester United. Of course I've got to back it, but this comes back to the same thing I've always said, and this is my opinion. It's not that of the United Stand. I will take your comments below. I'm reading some of them now, and a lot of people are not very happy, but I will read the comments through the day and reply to them because it's interesting. It will divide opinion, but I've got to give you my opinion, and I just think this is Mourinho. This is Mourinho not liking a certain player and wanting shot of him. The positive is he's on a lot of money. He's on over 200 grand a week, so we clear that. I hope that in addition to Schweinsteiger, Ashley Young goes. He's on 150 grand a week, 120 grand a week. Sorry, Rooney's on 300 grand a week. You get rid of those 3 sets of wages, and it does help the squad. But I just think it's a really stupid time to do it. A really stupid time to do it when we know we've got 9 games in April and potentially another 8 in May. It's a really silly time to do it, and I think he's got so much to offer. And what I will defend quite adamantly is anybody who says it's right for him to go, he's past it, because he's shown it. He's already shown in the last few weeks that he's still good enough. And I always said that if Bastian Schweinsteiger is playing in your midfield, is training with Manchester United, then I don't care how good you think Fellaini is, how good you think. I mean, I love Carrick. I've always said, choosing between Carrick and Schweinsteiger, I would choose Schweinsteiger. I know how good Schweinsteiger is. I've been watching him for over a decade. He's a fantastic midfielder. Go back and watch the video from when we signed him. In fact, I'm going to search and make sure it's still up on the channel, because I was so happy. He's a great player, and there's not enough of a decline there. He's still a very good player. We saw it against Wigan. I'm just really disappointed by it. But we have to back the manager. We do have to back the manager. Like Kwame says, he makes life hard for himself. At the weekend, he says he's got no midfielders. Then he's just going to let somebody go. I agree with Memphis and Schneiderlin going. I'm not going to be a hypocrite about those. We've got good money for them. But that's 3 experienced players now we've let go. And then he wants to moan about fatigue. I don't care. He can moan about the fatigue to the press. I'm more than happy about that. Play the press. Brilliant. Don't play the fans. Don't come at us in April, in the middle of April, when we've played 5 games and the squad's knackered, and say, I have no players left, we're tired. You've let someone like Schweinsteiger go, just settle into the team. Now, the news is that he'll be a Chicago Fire player by next week. Whether that means he leaves United before the end of the season or not, I don't know. But the MLS season has started, so I think he will do. I'm disappointed. This is me, Mark Goldbridge, very disappointed about it. Football Red Devil says, wrong decision to sell him. Why Jose want Fellaini to stay in January? Look, whatever you think about Fellaini, his effort levels are fantastic at the moment. He's doing a great job. But if you think Fellaini's better than Schweinsteiger, football's not for you. Schweinsteiger's one of the best midfielders of the last 15 years, like I say. And he's still one of the best midfielders, I believe. Not in the world, but I think he's the best midfielder we've got at Manchester United. He's up there with Pogba and Herrera. He's just not been given the chance. He's definitely better than Fellaini, and I think he's better than Carrick, to be honest. And I love Carrick, so really disappointed by the news. Not surprised. I thought he'd done enough to stay for the rest of the season and be a key player, but Jose's just adamant that he doesn't want to use him, and he's always wanted to get rid of him. The opportunities come, and I think Schweinsteiger, professional that he is, and nobody's more professional than Schweinsteiger, the way he's worked his way back in. Let's not forget, he was training with the kids in the summer, forced to do that by Mourinho. Then he forced himself into the first team training with them, and then he even got minutes again, but he still got rid of him. Pretty sad to see him go, says Eduardo SP. Me too. We'll pick it up again tonight at 8:30, but I wanted to do a little video now just to get your thoughts. Get commenting below if you've not watched it live. Give us your thoughts. Really disappointed. Thanks for watching. In Jose we trust, but for me this decision, it flies in the face of, we've got fatigue when you're getting rid of players, and it flies in the face. It's just a stubborn decision. It's not about ability. It's stubborn. And ultimately, the bottom line is Jose Mourinho prefers Marouane Fellaini to Bastian Schweinsteiger, and for me that's a problem. Thanks for watching. Still excited, still love Manchester United, of course, still think Mourinho's the right man, but everybody has a flaw in their personality, and I think Mourinho's got this one wrong. But I don't think it'll be enough for our season to collapse or anything like that. I just think it's a little chink in his armour. He's not been using him anyway, so we move on. But as a fan, I'm just disappointed. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon at 8:30. Please drop a like on the video and give us your comments.